Coach is going to make an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
We didn't want y'all to get out of here early on a Friday night. Y'all might have plans or something, so we try to keep that thing as close as possible for y'all. Obviously, we're thrilled to come out with a win. Our kids just keep finding a way. You know, you had another guy step up for an injured player. There's no one more unselfish and loves San Antonio more than Frank. So I feel terrible for a young man that's worked his tail off to come back, overcoming all the injuries. We'll get an MRI in the morning, and we'll know more about that knee injury. But another kid that loves San Antonio equally that came back home because he loves his university and his city, you know, Josh Atkins, to come out there and play almost as if he's been playing the whole year. He missed a couple throws he'd like to have back, but he was almost spotless. And Zachery, who hasn't played all year, has been injured. For him to step up like he did, our special teams just keep getting so much better. You know, Lucas is such a weapon, and Hunter's such a weapon, and defensively, I was so happy for Tyrone Nix to get that win against, you know, a school he used to work for, and my little freshman puppy, you know, breaking a school record with 19 tackles, and Danye Taylor, a freshman, you know, interception, big. We're going to get this thing right. It might take us a little bit, but we're going to get it right, and I'm really glad to be 3-0 right now.
Okay, we'll go JJ, then Joe.
Jeff, what does it say about Josh to be able to step in kind of on a whim there and lead the team down the field and play pretty good for you guys tonight? What does it say about his mental makeup?
If you were to watch every one of our practice videos in the back, he takes every rep Frank does on there. He takes every rep. If we've got a call, he's going to take the proper drop. He's going to make the throw on air. We know where he's throwing the ball every time. Even though he's not throwing the ball, and even though he's not actually out there, he's right behind Frank. He's a pro. You know, he's a man's man. He's a veteran, and what I love about him so much, and they've all been that way all year, is that how much they help each other. You know, our culture pillar of the week is selfless, and there was not a greater example of how much Frank loves Josh and Josh loves Frank. They're really good friends, and you know, for me to take Josh in shows you how much respect those two have for each other. That they came in and just battled for each other, and there's been nothing in our room but love and support for UTSA Roadrunners in San Antonio. And both of them come from great programs in the city, and they come from great families. And when you get kids from great families and great programs, they make coaches look really smart.
Did you see what happened with Frank's injury? Did he just bang his knee, or what happened there?
Yeah, when he fell to the ground, you know, we'll know more in the morning. We feel optimistic, I'd say, right now.
Okay, Jill.
You mentioned earlier this week MTSU does a lot of different things offensively and scheme-wise, but what specifically gave your defense the most trouble tonight?
The quarterback's just so scrappy and so tough. He's such a winner. You know, he's just a good football player. They made plays down the field, and the big back got loose on us. We didn't cross face the nose, and we had him pinned up on the 5. That was a gut punch. But our kids just don't go away. I mean, I don't know if y'all watch our sideline, but my pillow killers were in it tonight. I mean, we had energy. The band was great. The crowd. I mean, we felt them tonight, and we didn't in the game before. But we had real juice in the Alamo Dome, and I can't wait till it's back to the way it was, and we'll really put on a show when we get that thing rocking in there.
Greg.
Jeff, what was the impact of Zachery Franklin's return? How did that help your guys' offense?
You know, I'll just tell you, whenever in stretch line, I was just being funny. I said, "Are you a new kid?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "What's your name?" He said, "My name's Chris." I said, "Chris, do you play football?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "What position do you play?" He said, "Wide receiver." I said, "How many snaps can you give me tonight?" He said, "Coach, I can give you a good 25. I said, "Well, we're going to throw it to you, so you better be ready." And so I teased him in there. I said, "Chris, they want to speak to you in the press conference. Can you speak well, too?" He said, "Yes, sir, I can speak well, too." So y'all be getting my new kid, Chris, out here at any moment.
Well, what does it mean to you guys overall just to be 3-0 to start the year?
Yeah, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say it was special. But I don't think my kids would have flinched if we would have lost. I really don't think they'd flinch. I think they really believe in the program. I think they believe in my coaches. I just really have a strong feeling about that. but it's fixing to get rough now. It's fixing to get rough. You know, we've got UAB, and that's going to be our toughest opponent by far. No one's going to give us a chance. We'll be a double-digit underdog, but you know, our guys are going to go play. They're going to go play, and we're going to give perfect effort. Let the chips fly. I'm thrilled for my kids, Greg, to answer your question. But for me personally and my coaches, we're not going to blame. We believe in what we're doing. We have a really good job here. We're going to recruit our tails off and bring in great players and coach the kids we got right now. And they bought into us, and we bought into them. Keep getting better.
Did you call the offense any differently once Josh was in there, or was it kind of the same game plan you had coming in?
Well, it was different. You know, they both had different skill sets. So Coach Lundy and our offensive staff did a really good job of just adjusting and giving Josh the plays that he feels more comfortable with. What's not, there's just a few things different. It's not like it's something totally different. But yes, there were some different things we did with Josh than we would have with Frank.
JJ.
Jeff, when at the end of the first quarter, I think it was 3-0, and then the pace picked up significantly. Did you know you guys be in a shootout today?
I don't know my team well enough yet, to be honest with you, JJ. You know, we're getting so beat up, and I was a little worried about our defense. I mean, you can see we got kids with casts, and we got kids with some practice. And I was worried about that. You know, we got the more true freshmen I see out there, the more puckered up I get. And I didn't know it was going to be a shootout. No, I knew it was going to be a pretty close game. I felt that way, but I didn't know about a shootout. Our inability to run the football really hurt our defense. I think we could have ran the football. We could have got our defense off the field because we didn't run the ball very well. My defense was out there a long time, and that hurt our defense. We got to do better. You know, I'm not a big time possession guy. I'm not going to just major in that, but it is still a stat to look at. And we just didn't, you know, there was a time, you remember when we were up 8, we got them off the field. We could have just got a couple of first downs right there. That would have just been huge for our defense. They're right back out there. So we got to do better.
Bobby.
Coach, Jamal Ligon broke the single game tackle record. What does it mean for a true freshman to be able to do that with your team?
That's just Jamal. You know, he was a kid when I got hired. I think I got hired, and that very first weekend, I remember telling Dr. Campos, I want to have an official visit like now. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. We got to get kids in now." And she's like, "Okay." So we pulled it off, and he was one of the first kids we got in, and we flipped him that weekend. And I'm glad we flipped him. And I've known Jamal for a long time. He's an incredible character. Wait till you interview him. You're not going to believe he's a freshman. He comes from great people and a great program. And the more times you can recruit Tyler, Texas, and Tyler Legacy now. And I heard he had a really good high school coach too, but you'll have to ask Jamal about that.
Okay, anything else for Coach Traylor? Greg?
Jeff, when they have the 2-point conversion attempt at the end to tie, is there like a defensive play call you guys have in your pocket for that, or how do you approach that situation?
You know, that he was so open on the call before. I thought they were going to try the same play, and they pretty much did. I didn't want to use a timeout, Greg, because if they would have scored, I thought with 3 timeouts left in a minute with my field goal kicker. But I was really torn on whether to call timeout. But I asked Ty if he was okay, and Ty said he was fine, so I let it roll. And I'm glad I did, because having those 3 timeouts in my pocket, we could have got a field goal with a minute left. But yeah, they ran that play. They almost, remember the one where they ran to the goal post, it was barely out of bounds. It was a very similar play.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank